Okay, anyway, we are here to debug everything.
Welcome to the 40th BioCoherence webinar.
40?
40.
Maybe we are a bit crazy after all. Okay, so what has been the focus lately, Stephen? Yes, notifications and claims and so on. So yes, the latest update will mainly focus on notifications, and we now have notifications on the computer because we start having what is technically called the socket server, which allows instant information exchange between all participants. And this will allow for one of the things that I foresaw from the beginning, which is live communication between users. So for instance, synchronizing two people remotely through the recordings and measuring and comparing people one with another, or exchanging messages, like we can have a chat in the app at one point. We will now be able to have co-browsing, where you can just take one of your clients by the hands, and when you click somewhere in the screen, it will just follow for them. And so if you do something, it will do the same on their screen, which can be very powerful to make some remote sessions, So this opens a lot of new possibilities, and it is now set up in the latest versions. And the only thing that you will see right now is that when you open something for a client and the client is modifying it, so I should change if you want to see it, I will just change my camera so that I can use. Okay, so let's take this one. So what I'm doing now is I'm opening the same file as the user on my phone, which is here. So it's the same file, you can see. Okay, so let's say I will do some modifications here and remove a priority and change the harmonic boost, which is 32 minutes, to, I don't know, let's make it longer, like 39 minutes. And now I will save it here, and I will check notify users. And on my phone, you see a notification that just popped up here, and it says, Médéric Degois just updated this exploration, refresh. And so if I click on refresh, if I manage to click on refresh, yes, it's just loading back the modification. And now, as you can see, my harmonic boost is 39 minutes. And if I go to my priorities, I now have 28 priorities. So it has, as soon as a user on this side, I've clicked here to save. So you can click on top, or you can click to save to the cloud. It's the same. It will open this. And when I save it, I have this option to notify user and to ask to be notified if the user updates. So if you check notify user and you save the scan, the user will now get a notification in real time on their app. So if the app is open, it will pop up down like that. But if the app is closed, let's just close it and stay on the home screen. And if I save it, I should get something here on top, except it doesn't work, of course. Where is it? Yes, it's because, okay, it's here. I'm in work mode and I disabled notifications. So I will just remove my work mode so that you can see a full working demo. And I have 100 notifications to remove. Okay, so let's do it again. So on your right, you have the pro. On your left, you have the user. I save the scan. And I got this notification on top that says, Médéric Degois just updated this exploration. So if I click on it, sorry, it will launch the app and load the exploration that is modified. It seems like nothing, but it was a nightmare. I remember seeing the notification schemes for apps like Instagram or LinkedIn or so on, and it's like mountains of schemes like do we notify the user or so on, and I was like, that's not possible, it's so complicated. But I can tell you it's very complicated to know how to notify people. But now it's working, so that's why it didn't work in the previous version where I said it was working, and it was still a little bit shaky at some point. So this means you will be able. Yeah, please.
No, I'm just saying that basically, just to give that a real world example, let's say for Laura. So you have a client, you can now basically update their reports, you can add harmonic boosts, and they'll receive real time notifications that you have interacted with their case. And so
that's already been going on.
Yes, it's already been working, except that you right now you don't get notifications on your desktop, on the PC or on the Mac. It's a little bit complicated to get the notification on your side. So the clients already have good notifications on their mobile phone, so on Android or iOS, but it was very complicated to make the notification appear on Windows or Mac. And now it's working. So start.
What was happening on my phone with Matt Shands?
Yes.
He's been on it, and yes, that's been nice.
Yes, exactly. So
I've been getting his as well.
yeah, so now I can do the converse operation, meaning I am the user, I am opening it. So by the way, when I'm opening it, now if it will automatically sync with the cloud if it has been modified. So it will not allow to open the exploration while it's syncing with the cloud. So it's exactly as if you were opening a cloud document. And yes, Kat, I know notifications have been firing all the place, but this is fixed in the latest versions too. So what I can do is save here from the client side and look what will happen here on the pro side. So I will save it, and as a pro, I've asked to be notified if there was a modification. And you see, I have now this new alert as a pro that the client just updated the exploration, so I can refresh it. It will fetch it from the cloud and it will update my local copy. So that could be useful if you ask a client to do a reevaluation, for instance, or if you ask a client to do some live tests with biofeedback or anything, you will get a notification that the file has been updated and that you can update it on your side. So Laura, this is new because until now we didn't have this notification possibility on the pro side, especially on Windows or Mac computers. So this is a new possibility that will be open in the next update to get this kind of notifications. And of course, you still have the history of notification here. So if you missed one, you go to General and you can see, for instance, someone you claimed accepted you as a pro. You can click on it, and so on. So
How do you use those? Because those aren't opening on my side.
You should go to Notification and go to General. If you have an exploration open, it will tell you what happens. So you can see that today, me as a pro, I removed one priority, for instance. So this is a history of what happens on this file. But if you go on General, you will see what is happening in general for you in the app. And for instance, you can see that someone accepted you as a pro. And if you click on it, you will open their account.
So you have to go into General to be able to do that.
You have to go there. But now, the new thing is that all new notifications will pop up on the bottom of the screen when you have something, so which is very convenient.
It'll pop up on the bottom of the screen?
In the next version, yes.
In the next, okay.
Yeah. And so it's a good way to see. Do you want to make a test of claiming a client, Stephen? Yeah.
Great.
Let me just check this one. Yeah. Okay. So claim this one, or maybe you know what? I will remove it, or you share your screen.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Just finding which screen it is. Okay, this is my shared screen. You can see that?
Yep.
Not yet.
Double click to enter full screen mode.
Yeah, it's not sure.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. So maybe share only your app, not your screen.
I'm trying to.
You know, I'm in point 6 and the notify this computer.
Yes.
The bell has a slash through it, and it just takes me, when I click on that, it just takes me to the biocoherence.net.
Yes.
There's nothing.
And
blank.
I must say, because we try to rely on the notifications that goes through Chrome, and it doesn't work really well. So that's why, starting with the next version, we have this new notification system, which is entirely internal to our own server. So it will not come as a system notification. It will come as a notification within the app, which is more reliable for us.
Nice.
When I brought up the newest version, when it started, I got a large information box down below, and it wasn't even my clients. It just showed all of the change.
This is fixed. This is fixed since yesterday. There was a bug yesterday, I think, where notifications were popping up all over the place since a few days. So I'm sorry for that, but it is fixed.
Well, no, that was cool. I mean, I just wanted to go back and see it again, and I can't get the notification. I get my basic ones on my computer that my computer knows about.
Yeah.
As far as everybody else, it's not working.
Okay, so Stephen, show us. Let's say I'm coming into your office, and you are the therapist, and I'm currently working with another pro, and I want to work with you.
Okay.
So you can claim me as a client. So you will search for my name.
Which is med test.
Yes, med test to claim or something like that. Okay, and you see on the left, or click on it, and you see that my current pro is Médéric Debois. Okay, this contact us already as a pro and so on, and you can claim this account. That's the thing. So if you click on claim this account, you can share the invitation code, and you see, don't click. You see on the bottom right that in-app message has a little green bell activated, which means that if you send an in-app message, you know that this client has activated the notifications.
Wow. Okay.
Okay. So this is my screen.
Okay. So will I?
Let's go back. Okay. This is my screen, and click on it.
Oh.
So click on in-app message, and you see I have received a notification that says Stephen McCormack claims you, wants to work with you. Okay. Connect with the pro. And so I have now your name, and it says that it asks you to work with you. So if I click on apply.
Yeah, not yet. Very good.
I click on apply, and you should maybe get a notification or just check my claim.
Where's this apply? Where?
Sorry, it was on my screen as a user. I had to apply that I wanted to change my pro, and now you had a button that was check my claim. You clicked on it, and now it is done. I am working with you, Stephen. I'm very happy.
Yeah. So tell me, tell me, when did the symptoms start, Medric?
When the what?
It's a joke. Right. So now I can go in and I can view your report.
Yes, exactly. Okay. So I hope, Laura.
I'm here.
Yeah. I hope this will work as seamlessly for you as it works for us.
You know what? I'm just going to try to give you some more calcium, okay? So
yeah, give me some calcium. I need it. Yeah.
If you just basically update your harmonic boost, I'm just going to go back now and save.
Okay, good idea. So this is my phone. Just save it.
Yeah, so save.
Yeah, and notify users. Check notify users. Okay, save this scan, and this is my phone. Yes, and you see this notification, which says Stephen McCormack just updated this exploration.
That'll be 700 euro, please.
Okay, I will have to process in-app payments, you know. And so anyway, if I click on this, it will just load the ask me to open. And if I open it, I will just go and it will open this exploration.
Amazing.
So it seems to be finally working. As I said, it would work a few weeks ago, which is not so long after all.
But then to actually expand beyond that, like while I'm talking to you, then like I could actually go in, let's say to your chakras, and I can take a screenshot, and let's just say I want to add that screenshot to your report.
Yeah.
Click OK, select that. That's now in the report.
Yes.
And when I save this again, then you're going to get.
Yes. Let's try it. You know you're living dangerously because I hope it will work. Okay, so you know if we have some screenshots, it will show on the top of analyze here. So just save it, and yeah, it says you see just updated this exploration. So I will click on open. It's synchronizing.
Yeah.
So is it working? Is it in the report?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait a minute. You guys are going into places I've not seen before. Now we have screenshots.
Okay, so for whatever reason, I don't know why the screenshots are not synchronizing so fast. So maybe we have to wait a few minutes. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just a small delay.
Okay. Screenshots. Laura, do you want to review the screenshots?
Yeah.
Okay, go.
Yeah. Okay, so as I'm stepping through Medric's report here, let's say I go into the biomarkers. Let's just say I go to, I don't know, pulse wave. I can take a screenshot. Now, actually, these help screens basically take you through everything that you need to know. And you can also search within our webinars as well for basically points where we have discussed these parts of the product. But let's just say we want to do a screenshot. You can actually.
So on the bottom left, you see there is a button to screenshot, and now you can annotate it. You can add some circles or arrows or I don't know what. So take an arrow on top, for instance, in the middle. Yes, and point something. Probably the other way. Okay.
Check this out, and then also I'm going to draw a circle there as well, just and maybe some text. This is important.
Because we're all watching.
Yes, exactly.
Right, so then basically that's now saved, right? Okay.
Okay, so close this and go back to the report. Go back to the home page. And if you go down a little bit, just scroll down.
There you go. So yeah, sorry, it's here. It's just taking a while to catch up.
Yes, if you scroll down, you get it.
It's crazy. I'm maybe 5 seconds behind here.
Yeah. Okay, so now you see you have two screenshots that are on your PDF.
Yeah, and I can also add comments. Comment. So, and then also you can then comment back to me. So this report becomes a living document between us, like.
Which will be even more effective when we have this. Now that we have this live communication tool, we could imagine having some kind of live chat at different parts of the app, and either you drive someone to a certain page, or you just add comments that could pop up on every flower or every screen, or really we could do it. The idea is to keep it simple, but to make it something that is very interactive between you and your client.
But then actually just to add, because we just assumed that everybody knows this, but actually as the client, like, so Medric has the option then to just look at a very simple view where he's just seeing his flower and he accesses the harmonic boost, the personal guide, and he can then like basically switch between the most important kind of screens from here, or he can go into the full understand, and then based on his license type, he'll have access to all of the screens. But once I've saved that, then it goes back to you, and then we can basically have a working relationship, right?
Yeah. Okay. So each time you save it, I have a notification, of course, which makes a lot. this is the new homepage for the Me users and so on. And you see we have added a little bit of text here, which is a function of everything that happens with the flower and the general energy and so on. So we have probably something like, sorry, yes, this one. We have probably something like 450 different texts that could be here. And this is a direct function of the different petals and attention, intention, horizon in general. So if I click on more, it will open this text, which is the same information that you can have below each biomarker, but this is about the global flower, okay? And you know, we have these other screens, so your inner music. And again, we have generated some texts that are really dependent of the general tone and emotions that are conveyed by this particular chord, you know. And the last one is the personality. And again, you have this subtitle that will explain you in a few words what your personality is. And if you click on more, again, you have some information that is the same that you have on the personality screen, but in a more convenient way, okay? What is interesting is that you can click on share on every one of these screens and directly share them. So if you click on share, it will generate a screen like that, and you can directly save it on your social media or send it by message to your client and so on. So this page is really meant to be easy for end users, and you still have the access. You see that I removed the play understand button on the bottom, but if you scroll down, you still have the understand here that you can click on. And if you click on it, you will get back to the normal page. But of course, a lot of things on this page are locked because for pros. So you still have this button, unlock the fuel analysis, that allows you to either buy one analysis or subscribe to a higher tier of the app.
Just real quick on this.
Yeah.
I'm seeing, I don't know if this is an easy thing or not, but like on the personality thing on the screen, it doesn't let you open it up because it's kind of small to read.
Is it?
So I'm just wondering if that's an easy thing to do on the app, that you can expand the screen so you can read it easier on the phone.
This one? Hopla.
Yeah. You know, it's hard to read on that screen when I'm because I'm looking at it on my phone here.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? When you can move the screen like that to make it bigger, to zoom in on it so you could actually read it. If that's an easy thing, that may be
Okay.
a nice add.
Okay. Okay.
Just some feedback on that.
No, it's true that there is a lot of empty space around it, so why not?
Yeah. But you know
anyway,
what I mean?
yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Pinch zoom is a nightmare, but I get it.
Well, if it's not, it was just some feedback on that.
Yeah. No, I will think about it. Anyway, one of the new screens, because you see there are 3 dots on the bottom, and there will be soon a little bit more dots. One of the new screens I want to introduce in next versions are, for instance, my resource organ. And for that, I would have to do a very small snapshot of the body to show where your organ is and the different links with other systems. So this is something we have to create graphically speaking, but it would be very nice to have something that shows your resource organ and that really showcase it. And maybe your resource, I don't know, meridian or chakra or something that could speak like that.
People love the chakra one.
Yeah. And all of this is meant to be really fun to share. You know, this is part of the virality of the app that we want to set up. So it must be easy. And of course, one of the things I want to have here, when you click on the flower and you click on more, you can see that you see my curve. Okay. And this curve should be a screen by itself, of course. So as soon as you start having several evaluations, you should have a new screen that will say my progress, and again with a subtitle to say you are going in the good direction regarding organs or something like that. So it should have a baseline and a little text explaining what you are currently doing good and what you could maybe more focus on, and give you some hints to engage more either with the harmonic boost or the personality guide or anything else. or maybe the AI helpers. So that will be yet another new screen, and I'm sure people will want to brag on their progress if some interesting things are going up. So again, this is part of their virality. Yes, Dan?
Well,
Yeah.
on the, first, I just like to ask, what version is for the iPad? Is that just 129.2 still, or has that been updated?
Yes, we cannot update that easily for iOS because we have to go through the App Store each time.
Yes.
So we can update almost every day on beta for Mac and Windows. But for iOS, it's only the major releases. But we are close to a new major release because of this new notification system and so on. We still have some things to tweak, but I think I will do a new 1.30 version pretty soon. Even if it has no real major function, just having this new notification system and being able to claim clients and to send these notifications about updates and so on, I think it's an interesting thing.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question?
Really,
Sorry.
really why I raised my hand, one.
Yeah, okay, Dan and then
body
Frederick.
screen, when you're showing organs, right? So when you have the, what is it, the enzymes or the, the little molecules on the side,
Yes.
well, kind of they light up, but they don't tell people what they are.
So
And I don't know if that's an easy fix, especially on a small screen, but, even
This one?
if you could
All of
put
this?
down an acronym for what it is, because they're important, right?
Okay, so when you move your, if you see my screen, when you move
Yeah.
when you move your mouse, you now have the subtitle on the bottom that says what it is.
Okay.
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 Yeah. And when you click on it, of course, you have more information. And
Yes. I know that. I
and then
realize
if you click here,
I've seen that.
yeah, if you click here, you have to you have even more information.
Well, I was just talking about on the rate, like the body screen, when you're in play, because that I think is another really good function, because people, that's a hard one for me to explain to people because they just see, I mean, it's a good feature. I'm not saying it's bad. It's very informative, but they just don't understand it. It's
What, the body screen?
maybe it's too compressed or no. When you click on it like that, they can understand it, but you got to walk them through to how to get there. Is what I'm saying.
For the body screen?
Yeah.
Well, they don't usually have access to the body screen unless they have a
Unless they're
unless they have a Me Expert subscription. So what I would suggest is that you would just click on the screenshot function.
Okay.
And you would have this screenshot here, and you can now say something like, I don't know, your DHRR is improving. Okay. Improving. Okay.
Is there a way that we can when I do the screenshot, how it in some screen versions it shows the path of where it's going, because that's also helpful.
Yes, well, it shows if you click on something,
Yes.
you will show some path, and when this new function will take a screenshot of exactly what you see on the screen. So if I click now, of course it's on white background, but you see you still have the path and so on, and you still have the flower too.
Yeah.
Okay. And now you can add
that's
some comments in the screen or under it or anything. So it will always take a picture of the current setup you are in. This is the spirit of this function. So maybe it's not bulletproof, and maybe sometimes it doesn't work as good as it. But
So
yes,
is there a way to for the atomic screen, the periodic table, is there a way to tie that into the body so that you can show, because what the alchemy people want to know is if, on the periodic table I mean, it might be hard to locate it, but if it's like picking up a frequency through, one of the hormones or something, where that's how it's extrapolating the heavy metal. I mean, if you could go from the atomic table click on it and then go boom to the body screen, right?
Yeah.
Is that
Okay? Just 1 second. I have to go 1 minute. So Stephen, if you can just your answer is the causal chain. Okay. So maybe you want to share the screen for the causal chain, and I'm back in 1 minute.
so? You want me to share my screen?
I don't know.
I mean, that's a really good thing, Dan. I like that a lot. Because
Yeah.
this is really the only thing that it shows.
I
on
got
this,
you.
and it doesn't make sense to me if it's not related to the body, right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah, no,
There's a causal chain between all of the different stuff like phosphorus.
that would even help with TJ and his, his kid's mother. For like if you're doing a cleanse and your liver is, your liver and your kidneys are where you're dumping a lot of heavy metal, especially your liver. So, but if there's another place like it's dumping, but it's in fat soluble somewhere and it's not giving up the ghost, but if it does give up the ghost, then your liver's pulling it out and your liver might, go into a defunct level because when you hit it with frequencies or you're doing a cleanse in your body, yes, it's cleansing your liver, but it's also cleansing if you have the right detox formula. It's also cleansing your fatty tissue, right? And then that's what the liver pulls out, that your kidneys. And, I don't know the name of the medical term, but, like with COVID, right? It was your immune system affecting your body, but it was a serious dump of toxification. There's a medical name for that. Maybe Jeff, maybe you know the name, where where your system it's just like when I'm giving certain tinctures, I have to be very careful and just say, let's try just 2 drops of this. We don't want to go too far because if it's cleansing your body, it will just create a big dump. And then you've just flooded your system with toxins, right? And that's that's why your liver fails. It's especially if your liver's weak.
Okay, so I think your answer is that if you click on causal chain and you work around copper, for instance, and then on the bottom you click on organs and then best helpers, and you will see the best links that could work to improve copper. And then if you want to work on a specific one, you click on it. It will go on the center, and then you will see the causal chain again and again. And if you want to go back to copper, you click on this one and you go back on it. So if you want to, currently the only way to know the link between, for instance, something from the periodic table and organs is to go through the causal chain.
Yeah.
And for the causal chain, when you click on it, you have this button causal chain here that is always accessible from every biomarker. So I would say if you want to work on an alchemic point of view and you want to start with some specific atoms, you have to go through the causal chain. And maybe at some point we could develop, we have this ongoing feature of developing some specific modules. And maybe at some point you will want to develop a specific module for alchemy. And you would, this module, I know you want. And this module would take the data from all the periodic tables, items, and all the organs, and you would do your own calculations to give some advice or to say something about that.
Get on that, man.
Yes? What?
So, anyway, I'm still kind of waiting for the move the screen button, like what TJ was asking for Zoom, so I can see, because what you just showed in copper when you went to the causal chain, and all of those biomarkers are just really close.
I know it's too much information.
You cannot click in that center row. You get the top, you get the bottom, but you cannot click. And I've even tried changing the DPI.
No. It's on our side. There are just too much information. So I have to group them exactly like on Google Maps. When there are too many pins, and you just have a number with the number of the items. I have to do the same, but honestly, it was not on top of the priority list. But I can assure you, it's on the list.
Sure. Well, yeah, no, I mean, but even if it's just a few,
Yeah.
it still draws them off the screen, and I have no way. Even with, I'm really limited on only 3 up or down for zoom in or zoom out, and after that, it just even when I change the interface, it's just it. I mean, that might just be a PC function, but just to have the little bottom of the screen, right? Slider bar to get over and say, oh yeah, that's what those are,
Yeah.
right?
So can I have a question about personality?
Yes, please.
Thank you,
So
Frederick.
I find it curious that, many things evolve. I see the direction, but from different scans, it seems my personality has changed. I used to think that personality was one thing we have. And then one day I'm a compassionate guy, another day it sounds like my wife talking to me.
I think the personality is what it is.
You're such an asshole yesterday.
Yeah, but if I'm right, like the test, if you're doing the live test, the personality one is more flexible and in the moment. Like these other ones are fixed and more long term. If I can explain that, the personality is going to shift on your mindset, and that's why we have like the live tests. So if you're thinking about a certain thing or testing to a certain product, your personality test will change.
Yeah.
If you guys can, if I have that right, you guys.
Let's see what Metric says.
Okay.
Yeah, I think you definitely change personality according to the information you are currently living in. So
That seems counterintuitive, and also the idea that my musical chord, was F sharp. Now it's C major, and then it becomes A minor. I don't understand how that works.
It's a very good news. It means that you are living.
Okay. So we're all those things all the time, I guess. It's just what's on the surface.
Yeah. To me, what is very strange is that you take a test and people say, okay, you are this and only this, and now this is forever your personality. And it's not true. Things are much more flexible than that. And sometimes you will be in a good mood and you will be very flexible. And sometimes you are not in a good mood and you are not able to take any information without getting very angry. And so
you're
okay, let's say for me
that as an emotion, but not as a personality.
For me, I'm always for me, whatever the test I take, I'm always in this zone. But I could move a little bit around, and it would say, okay, it's fairly stable, it's very stable, fairly stable, which means that there is some room for.
That would make sense. That if you're outward, you're generally outward. If you're like a shy inward person, it's hard to imagine that you're suddenly going to be gregarious and outgoing.
I'm not. So, I disagree. You see all the time. I'm rather autistic, but sometimes I'm absolutely okay to project to an audience and to say a lot of things. But then, if I can spend the whole day alone with my family and my computer, I'm very happy. So
right.
I think everybody has a way to adapt to different situations, and this should reflect into this measurement. Somehow.
It's interesting because as we were talking, I noticed that Stephen has a tattoo on his right arm, on the inside of his right arm. Steve. And then, like I'm thinking, those people who put tattoos, like they freeze that moment in time. And, maybe a few years from now, you would wish that it had, 12 items on it instead of 6. So it's kind of interesting.
There's 12 on there, actually.
There is 12.
Okay, I was going to say 12 for a second, but anyway, I don't know. I just find it fascinating that this app is so alive. It's kind of like it gives you your momentary experience. Where I'm going with that, it may be interesting to track a kind of a baseline or some kind of a general direction in the more abstract things like your personality, How would that be? You know, over time, I noticed that I'm more often outward than inward. Like, would that give us some kind of information about us, ourselves, in a bigger picture?
Yes.
Just a thought.
Yes, and also about how you feel right now and at the time of the recording, and how much variation you have also. So
Yeah.
it's all very interesting information on yourself.
Medric,
Yeah.
was it you who gave me the example of about a year ago about a person's aura, like basically changes like on like almost a real time basis, you know, because it's basically the evaporation of the water in our body, and it basically changes. Like, so if so a person's aura is not fixed forever. It can change as the day goes out or as the day goes by. Like
I don't remember saying that, but yeah.
Change.
Yeah, but of course it changes.
Yeah, coming back to that, when I do testing on things, and a real like an easy way of doing that is coming back to like basic psychology with your mom and your dad. If I get somebody testing a certain way, I'll test them to like their feminine energy, and then I'll get them to switch, like think about your mom, and they'll test a certain way, and then I'll get them say, hey, think about your father now, and they will have a completely different test after that, because it's shifting their energy and their focus. So these personality tests are relative to a certain point. So you got to be comparing to something to get your, yeah. So that's why the live tests are so important, because if you're thinking about, let's say, something physical right now, I mean, Jeff's voice bio software was depicting that too, where you're using different parts of your brain. You're going to get different tests and you're going to get different notes depending what you're thinking about at the time. So if you're thinking about your physical body, your personality test will show a certain way. If you're thinking about your emotional side, your personality test will show a different way. So that's just the glory of this software, in that it's able to test so many different things relative to different aspects or wherever you're at this point.
Yeah, the software is just a mirror. You know, it's just a mirror, and it's reflecting back to you that a snapshot at that moment. And like Medric always says, you know, your body is in a constant state of change. You know, it really is. Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. Sorry for cutting you off, TJ.
So if you wanted to do something with like an abused adult from their childhood, while they're doing this, talk to them about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you're invoking that. So right now, your energy, like what I do, I base it off a 13 chakra system. So their chakras may be fine if they're thinking about like their favorite food or their dog or something. But then if they have a childhood trauma, you know, you bring them back to like, hey, put your energy to where you were 5 years old with your mother. They'll get a totally different reading on that. Then they're not so balanced. But, you know, part of this is how you're carrying it through life. And that's why it's harder to do this healing work, because you need the code to access those parts that aren't healed in that time and space. But we compensate for different ways. Like right now, my chakras would be great because I'm feeling good and people love me and I'm in nature or whatever. But then you go into a stressful situation or a different environment where your trauma is, you're going to get a totally different reading. And that's why these frequencies are so powerful, because they're able to address things on a deeper level rather than the surface level.
Well, actually, no, that puts in question the whole frequency thing, because then when I did the scan that my frequencies are based on 2 months ago, and I'm listening to them now, they may not have any impact because I'm a different. So there's something about this thing that doesn't quite add up for me yet.
Well, but there's a surface level and then a depth. And the ones that are consistent are a deeper level, and that's when the frequencies come down. They'll come through like these outer layers that are more flexible and change. But when you get to the core and the inner, it's like an onion. So what we're doing is trying to harmonize all the external layers of your energy field, so you can get to those core levels that generally stay the same on all your readings.
Well, that's what I was getting at with personality. I thought there was a baseline of personality, but what I'm hearing is no, your personality changes That's the part that doesn't add up for me, because then the frequencies don't make sense unless you're making a frequency every day, every minute about what you want to deal with.
Well, it's kind of like most people's personality will change a little bit depending on who they're talking to and who they're around. Like you speak to your mom differently than you speak to like a homeless man on the street. Like generally, you know, ultimately, if you're in your hearts and your core to yourself, you treat everyone the same, you know, and everything else. But in general, as we're going through our stuff, you know, it's all relative to where it's at. And that's where I think we get the fluctuations in the personality. Like you're going to be in a different part of your brain, you know, but if somebody's loving you, you're going to be in a different part of your brain. So the idea is to harmonize all this and bring it together. And I think that's what this software ultimately is doing, is making us more whole and integrating the fractal. So it's all shareable, as like Dan Winter would say. It's making all of our waves shareable with each other within ourselves. Because when it's our energy is conflicting to itself, then you get into problems and you have to heal. But what these frequencies are doing, it's making it all, giving a communication through your own body so they all can resonate and become shareable waves and work itself out.
And where you see that is in the drives module. Go to mind, go to shadow, go to drives. And that's me inside, me outside, and others. And so that is a really good reference to your personality if you want to do the causal chain on that, right? So that's, you know, that's a very, I always go there. That's a very powerful, even if the chakras look great, I still go there because that's the subconscious. There really is no subconscious. It's just what the conscious, the monkey mind can't perceive. That's really what, you know, the unconscious.
But is that also fluctuating, just like everything
Yes,
on a
they
daily
will
basis?
fluctuate, but those markers are more stable in the things that are subconscious.
Yes.
And when you get triggered, right? If you look at the ones that have a really deep blue line on the bottom, right? That's destructive. That's your subconscious.
Yeah, you're right. The subconscious is more fixed, where the conscious
Yes.
mind is more flexible to things. So we want to get down to these subconscious levels, which is protected by your mental and your conscious levels. And that's the trick why, you know, these frequencies are tools in order to get through that. And I think Jeff had something to speak on to
Yes,
this.
sorry, Jeff, for cutting you off.
So overall, doing multiple scans, the software has seen you, it gets to know you, and there's a foundation that will appear in all these different things, and whether it's in the periodic table or whichever one, there's foundational stuff that is there in your personality. Although your personality changes, so do your harmonics change, your auras change, your chakras are changing, but there's foundational stuff there. It's like you have like possibly like a birth note or whatever. So Frederick, when you were talking about this, it's shifting all the time, but the foundation is still there. And so as you are changing and you're seeing these different markers in your mental, emotional, or physical body, they're all just reflections of a mirror that help you better understand what's happening right now in your system. And you're getting the frequency balances to what's happening right now in the recent scan. Those older scans still work because you'll always go back to looking at that foundational stuff. And Medrick, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that that foundation is going to be there throughout all this testing because it is you, you know?
Yes, it's interesting you raise this point because it's actually a very big difference of BioCoherence with other systems. Most the other so-called quantic systems have a history of your client, and when you do a new scan, it will tweak this history to be in the same range as the former ones. If you do a new recording with the same client on a new account, so you just tell the system it's a new client, you will get a completely different reading, because in fact these systems are somehow tweaking the results so that it appears to be coherent with the history, and that's not what we do. Okay, with BioCoherence, when you do a new recording, it's a new recording. It's an entirely new analysis, and we don't care at all about the history of former analysis from this client, which means that everything that you see that has some historic coherence on BioCoherence is real, okay? You can do this analysis by creating a new client account if you want, and you will get the exact same result at the same moment. What I mean is most of our competitors are faking the results to give you the impression of something that makes sense across the history of your client. And we don't do that. We do a brand new analysis, and this brand new analysis doesn't take into account the former analysis that you did a few weeks before. It's a brand new analysis that is
20. Then how does the 21-day thing work if it's not comparing it to the previous one?
Yeah, that's that one. Not even that one. When you do a 21-day analysis, if you do a re-evaluation, it will be a new recording that will be totally independent from the former results. So when you see a curve moving, it's each point of this curve is a completely new calculation at the time of the recording. It doesn't compute from the previous points.
That's what it compares.
That's the only way you can show progression.
Exactly, I agree. But what I want to stress is that most of, if not all of our competitors will just fake things by taking the former points and doing something random and saying, oh, it's going up or it's going down. That's not what we do. What we do is that we have this former point, and for the next point, maybe this other side, I don't know. For the next point, we do a completely new analysis, and we don't say, okay, the former point is here, and let's see how it moves around it to give the impression of something that has consistency. We do a completely new analysis, and this new point will be in our new analysis around the former one because your system didn't change so much in a few days, okay? But it's changed, and it's a brand new analysis. So,
but you still connect the points with a line.
Yes, of course, we still connect the point with the line. But let me explain it. If you do two blood samples, you will see a kind of variation on your, I don't know, on your glucose level, for instance, between 2 days ago and now. But you can draw this line between all your blood samples, okay? What our competitors do is that they fake the blood samples. They take the first one, and then they take another one, and they say, okay, we will do something around the first one to show you a curve, but it should be around the first one, so let's tweak it so that it seems to be consistent. What we do is what blood sample labs do, a brand new analysis with a brand new result that doesn't take into account the first one, but that will show you a curve of what happens between the first result and the second result. And for that, I think we are the only device on the market doing that, doing a fair, real, honest analysis.
So that's why, like, sometimes you'll take it and your progress is like 64, and then the next time it's like 53.
Yeah.
But you're still up in some things. And
Yes.
then in other
Yes. Some of the items will go up and some of the items will go down, but that is just a function of the time when you do this new evaluation. Okay. So yes, just know that it's a brand new analysis that doesn't take history, and it shows somehow that our calculations are somehow right because it's consistent. So it's another proof that we get variations because it's a living system, but we also get consistency. And for me, that's the best proof that our analysis is.
Not to contradict that, but what we were talking about before, would it be possible to have something we were talking about, a baseline of personality or a deeper level that is consistent? Is there something that we can do as rather than just comparing all the moments, to try to have something that says, well, we've now taken 10 measurements of you over the last 6 months, and we seem to be generating something fundamental about who you are.
Yeah.
So that most of the time you're an extrovert and occasionally you're an introvert.
Yeah, I agree with you.
You know,
Yeah.
because
So-
for me, it would seem important that I have an understanding or a client of who they are fundamentally, and on top of that, we have these variations.
Yeah, I agree.
The same, the same reading might appear to have a different meaning for someone who's always, say, extrovert and sometimes introvert, or sometimes who is basically an introvert and occasionally becomes an extrovert. It has a different meaning if it's compared to a foundational reading.
But you see, so all of these measures are brand new measures that are done across time in the same exploration. So right now, in the app, you can only compare one measure against another during the same exploration, which is already a lot of information, but which is not what you ask. What you ask, I don't know if you remember the very first versions of the app 1 year ago, there was another tab which was named History here. And when you clicked on it, it says coming soon. And it's very frustrating to have this coming soon, So I just removed it. But it's somehow in the pipeline to be able to open all of your recordings. So somehow with this history button, you would have something that looks like, okay, here are all your recordings. Which one do you want to compare? And you would check all the history, all these different recordings. It would open everything. And now you will have a big curve that would last 1 year instead of lasting 21 days, And I think that's what you want. Mm.
Well, I mean, yes, I guess, however you do it, but I'm kind of looking for a little bit deeper than that. We were having this, maybe it's a little more subtle, but how do we define what is our foundational personality as opposed to our momentary feelings compared to another momentary feeling? You know?
That would
I would say I'm generally a calm person who sometimes gets angry. There are people who are generally angry and occasionally get calm. You know what I mean? I don't know. Does anybody else think that could be valuable?
No. I think it could be very valuable, and it would come with this new function that would be called history, and that would allow you to make a very, very long average of all of your recordings somehow. And after 6 months, after 1 year, of course, you would have some very stable traits in your measurements and some very moving traits in your measurements. And when we compute all of this, we would have an answer for you.
Then you would have a personality reading based on the long-term evaluations added up. So you have like a foundational level of, the different aspects of your body. Maybe not all of them. Maybe we pick the primary ones or something if it's too much to compute.
You can almost do that now, but you don't get the fancy graph lines, like I said, with mind shadow drives. Because what that's showing you is me inside. Basically, that's your subconscious. And, really everything, every time you scan, it's the scan is okay, let me say it another way. Nobody sees anything or they react to something they're not really seeing because it's subconscious. It always comes from my comfortable sensate definition of reality. Okay, so that's me outside. Me inside is the shadows, right? And then how others see me, which is really how you're expressing to them because they may have triggered you, right? So that's, if you really want a baseline and just, if you start at the drives, and I don't know, maybe there's a drives progress in there, that would be your baseline. And
if you click on anyone, you will see the curves.
Yeah. Thank you, Matthew.
So, Frederick, isn't it what you're really looking for, a progress report?
Yeah.
No.
No.
For a relative baseline.
Yeah. He's looking for a kind of long-term average.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Which would come when I can do these history functions that are planned from the beginning, but I don't know. I just have 10,000 things to do. And this one was not.
It's an interesting thing, Dan, what you just said. Is our subconscious the shadow, or is the life expression outside is really the shadow of who we are inside? It's
That's the easiest, simplest way to say it. TJ's
Right.
chime in on this. He's got a real good handle on that.
Yeah, I think it's all of it.
Well, I mean, you know, you could say that who we are subconsciously is really who we are, and what we express on the outside is the face we put on that day, and it's a kind of a shadow of our inner true being, what we project to the outside. You know, I don't know. I don't know if I have an answer. And it's interesting to think about, you know.
Well, you know, that's the closest thing to answering what you asked for.
Right. Okay.
Yes, but
I have to remember how to go for inner and outer drives. I forgot how to click there. It's been a while.
I've shown it on the screen. So you
Okay.
go to you go to mind,
You go to mind and then
and you go down and up to drives, and you click on drives, and then you have a lot of
Okay.
information here.
Okay, great.
Okay. Let me just show you a function that exists since a few weeks, but I've never had the time to show it to you. If you go to settings and you go down to local storage, you now have a list of the disk space that is taken by the app, and you can do some tidying of files if you are low on storage on your device. Okay, so you can see the audio files, the personal guide voices, and so on, and you can just delete them. And in the same way, you can delete the exploration files. So every exploration file that you have stored locally, you can just delete them by here. There is one lacking information is to know if these files are actually backed up on the cloud or not. So if you delete something from here and it's not on the cloud, it will be deleted forever. So just pay attention for it. It's mostly useful if you are on a constrained device and you are low on disk space and you need to remove some voices, I don't know, or some images or something. So you will get a list here. Just know it exists. Local storage on the bottom of settings. It's something that
Are these things usually megabytes in size? Or they're not huge, are they?
mega. So it's on this instance, I don't have a lot, but sometimes I'm sure, Dan, if you look at yours, you will find some several hundred megabytes of voices and harmonic boost and so on.
Yeah, it's gigantic.
Yeah.
My storage is gigantic. But
Yeah, so
terabytes.
So maybe sometimes you want to go to personal guide voices and click on delete all, and it says you can safely delete these files. They will be downloaded again when needed. So if you ever need some spare room on your device or your computer, and you see that BioCoherence is taking a lot, you can just do some tidying of files here. Can be useful.
Two quick things here. Well, first, I'll say these drives and the add stimulus, the stimulus of the drives that are written are some of the most powerful ones, I think, that I'm finding. And that sets BioCoherence apart from a lot of these other things, is that I'm super impressed with the drive stimulus. So thanks for those.
Yeah, cool.
And I think this puts the software way beyond anything else that's out there.
Cool.
With that being said, I have another suggestion right now, because there's a lot of people talking about seasonal allergies and hay fever and pollen and stuff. And if your lovely wife is up for writing another protocol, that might be a nice basic program.
Okay.
Is like a seasonal allergy or a pollen one, because I get a lot of people. There's not really a good anything out there for that, and I think that would be another super asset these days. For a general protocol.
I agree.
Anyway, at one point we have to work on allergies and to make a module or to find some frequencies about it, because it's a very interesting topic and it's not very developed right now in the app.
Yeah, and I find that when you're doing an analysis, I mean, that will help because it's making you stronger in your immune system, but I don't think that that's something that pops up right away to address it, because there's priorities there with what's going on with your body.
Yeah.
So I find like just doing a scan on somebody isn't necessarily going to directly help their allergies, but on a deeper level, it will.
Yeah, of course.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that'd be nice to have a basic programs for those like symptoms rather than like the long.
Yeah, sure. And as with all basic programs, it could be integrated into the custom program that is made after the exploration. So you can just add what she will do on top of it if it's interesting for your clients. And as you know, basic programs can now include stimuli, so it's even richer.
I have a 5-year-old that has asthma.
Yeah.
And so I've been having him doing the emotional one and his own scan, and that's really helping him. So these
Cool.
the ones that she's doing, I can put together with another one to help.
Yeah.
I think the allergy one would be excellent. Thank you.
So
I think
what
maybe
about-
Stephen, you should. I'm not sure it's. See, yeah, he's here. Stephen, you should find a way to collect all the IDs for new basic programs, and then we can just take Christine in a hostage until she does it.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
So what about stuff like stray voltage and radiation?
There you go.
What? Come again?
Yeah.
They have some in there if you dig. We do have some of that, right, Medrick?
Okay.
Come again? About what?
Smart meters, radiation,
EMF.
yeah, the EMF,
Well,
but this.
Yeah, we have it. Well, we have things in Momentum about that, geopathy and biology. So here you will find things.
Oh,
Geopathic stress, radiations, groundwater, harmful energies. So everything about radiation would be here. And again,
oh, good. I didn't know.
Yeah, those are good ones that come up a lot for people. So I think that's working well.
but maybe
So
we could add something because I'm not sure we have things specific for 5G, for instance.
Yeah, that would be a good. You can keep adding basics, but that would be a good one that people can just play in their environments.
Yeah. I should see if we have some frequency tables for all these things that we could embed on top of radiations, for instance, or anything else.
In America, it sure would be helpful if you could take the 50, 60 cycles, right? And where a lot of people, they don't realize is if you don't have a very good ground plane at your house, right? In other words, a ground rod for your circuit breaker box, then
Yeah.
you're getting stray voltage that, just walking down the sidewalk to go in your house, especially if you're barefooted, you're picking up, or your house, even in your house, you're picking up stray ground plane electrical current, right? And it's subtle, but it's 60 cycles, and that's destructive to biology.
You're right.
Everybody in America is dealing with that.
You're
Not so
nailing
much
that, Dan. I've been using that extensively in our sound healing things where I just put a subtle. I'm working, but you could tell, when you have like that portal experience with sound. I find when I'm doing music venues or whatever, and I'm just playing that subtly in the background, it changes the whole experience, especially if it's electronic music, because everything's plugged in, and I don't see why more musicians and venues aren't dealing with this, because it's a mess up there. You have like these musicians standing in a bunch of wires, and yeah, you're onto something with that.
Well, no, I
I'm
know
on
it
it
is
too.
like that.
That's a good one.
Especially with the lights, with those mercury vapors, or now they're LED, but still they're pulsing at 60 cycles. You can't see it, but they're pulsing. And that's just like the fire. It's not like the fire rate, but the LED is still pulsing with that electromagnetic field, right? And when all the different color blue lights and stuff flash, well, there's another pulse, but it's all tied to 60 cycles.
Yeah, and is that, and you guys can chime in on this in Europe, but that's different because aren't they using 50 in Europe?
Yeah, we do.
Which is much better.
So what did Dan Winter, he used to broadcast in the rock shows in Australia and stuff like that. He said he could change the frequencies of the crowd by putting stuff subtly in those concerts and stuff. What
you're talking about the ecstasy raves that he was talking about in the 90s?
So you can,
I don't know that he's ever
do
said,
that
but
kind of stuff. Why?
That inspired me. I don't know exactly what he's saying, but I would assume that it's like the phi ratio, the phase conjugate phi. he hasn't addressed this directly, but what I'm guessing by what he said when I was asking him is that he's using 53.
I thought it was 54. but
That's
50.
how they're counteracting it in America. When the
Yeah.
fire rate is spiked, the new fire rate is AC. If you're in Europe, no problem. But if you're in America, that's how they're counteracting the 60 cycle. They're not counteracting it. They are modulating a 53, right? So anyway, it's more complex than that because
Yeah.
I'm not an electrical engineer.
No, but we're finding, I don't know. I've had quite a few experiences at these shows where the power blows. So I have a philosophy behind all this.
Ask.
It's amazing that Mick Jagger is still alive. All the time he spent on stage at 90, he's still dancing like he's 9.
Yeah, but if you're drinking baby blood too, that's
He was in
Yeah, I think it's time to stop the recording, you know.
yeah. No, they get blood
Always
transfusion.
end like this, Medrick. They always end like this.
Dude, it's
Yeah.
completely documented.
I stop the recording and I will let you rumble about that.